DIY.
DIYers back at it again with another special guest. Welcome in, DIYers. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. We are joined today here by Dyme-A-Duzin. And I was telling them before we got on here, I was like, it's insane the amount of discussions and conversations we've had, either via through the chat or via DM. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never talked to this brother on the phone. I ain't never talked to him. I ain't never, been on all of this. But obviously I appreciate all of the first of all, the support that you give this channel, but then just all of the effort and energy that you put into your own art form. And how unapologetic you speak for your independence. And so it is an honor to have you here. How you doing today?
Everything's great. Yeah, all the time. Even though I haven't told you verbally yet, thank you. Very much appreciative of you and everything that you can contribute to the community. Period. Hip hop. Period. And yeah, man, I'm glad to be here. I was telling my boy Epiphany that this is the dope crossover. It's a fire crossover. It's like when Power Rangers met Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, as a nostalgia holic, as I call it, that kind of nostalgia for sure hit different because I know when that happened. I remember. I'm old enough to remember when you started seeing Fresh Prince characters come over to Family Matters, and it was like, yo, this ain't even real. Like now we're in the era of AI where that shit can be just as real as you want it to be. But let me get into this intro first, and we're gonna definitely hop into this conversation because you didn't come here empty-handed. As promised,
Yes,
you guys are about to hear the No Music Cypher with, some heavyweights and some names that I know that you're familiar with. But I want to have a little bit of a conversation beforehand to kind of prep everything. Here's my introduction. Today we're joined by the Brooklyn rapper who's known, whose name you've probably seen many a times in this damn chat from time to time. And I love when you pop in here because it's always like the kind of content we need your perspective on for sure. But with that said, this is our official sit down, our first official sit down, and he's carved out his own lane as an independent artist, respected for his lyricism and creativity. Now he's back here today with something special. We're about to premiere his brand new cipher, No Music, featuring myself and a dope lineup of artists and voices from across hip-hop media. Please welcome Dyme-A-Duzin one more time, man. That's my description. In your own words, fill in the gaps. Who is Dyme-A-Duzin?
Dyme-A-Duzin. The name came about from my mentor. His name is Kito Abashi. He was actually a gospel rapper who I actually saw perform for the first time. I was very sheltered away from rap as a kid because I was a church boy. Like my mom had me in church with my sisters, and women degradation and things of that nature was kind of like what hip hop was. It was like shunned away. So I kind of was exposed to it through a gospel rapper. So the name Dyme-A-Duzin kind of takes on that faith perspective. It's like Dyme-A-Duzin. I am just a man, without God, without faith, I'm nothing. So my talents are God given, these moments are God given, and this energy is God given. And I can only thank God for, being here and what's happening. So that's kind of who I am, just following that energy and just being me. Feel me?
Right. For those who are familiar with you, because like I said, when you hopped in my live stream, I knew that I had heard the name, and it's probably because a lot of our mutual peers. But also too, I had people that was like shooting me texts. They was like, "Yo, Dyme-A-Duzin in your live stream," and I'm like, at first I'm looking at it like, okay, this is somebody that has his own fan base and whatnot. But I was admittedly not familiar, and I had to go catch up and do my homework. But with that said, folks was excited to have your presence here. For those who may not know, what are some of the things that I guess made you familiar on a broad level to a lot of people?
Well, it's very interesting because I tune into your streams and your videos for similar things that people kind of tuned into me for but from a different perspective back in the day. Like I was like a
Mm.
YouTube kid in school, kind of DIYing videos in the hallways. You feel me? Like showing kids that uh, you can get creative with a little Canon camera and make something that's appealing to
Hmm.
thousands of people. To something that I was very influenced by. Like I did like comedy skits, like you know things like Dave Chappelle, guys like Dave Chappelle, stuff like that. And, I was doing stuff like that in school, and, I was inspiring kids to do that themselves and kind of like showing them that it could be done. And like on your side, like you're doing that the same way in this era. Like, yo, you don't need the label really. Like you can actually put something together and make something that's just as appealing as a TV show to be on
Yeah.
your TV and learn from. And you don't really even need TV. It's like, and you can do it yourself. It's like an inspiration on your screen. So I feel like that's kind of where I come from. And yeah, the early YouTube days, like
Yeah.
2008, 9. Yeah, I was doing content back then, comedy skits and like parodies.
It's crazy.
T-Pain, I gotta eat.
That
T-Pain,
doesn't process for me. That don't even process for me because when I look at your demeanor now, especially as the lyricist that I've come to know you as, I mean, obviously, with age comes a level of just like seriousness and everything that comes. I can't imagine. My brain can't even picture the parody videos and skits and all of that. That's crazy to even hear.
it was just like a very free spirited time,
Yeah.
and when I still add these creative elements within my music and within my visuals, but at that time I was just a young kid trying to get his ideas out, and within that still showing my musical talents, because within like the parody videos you see my writing, you can see like a little bit of singing skills, so that's really just
Right.
really how I reel people in, just to let them know like, yo, I'm actually nice. You feel me? So from there, like I would like release little mixtapes and little freestyles, and like from the beginning, going to into what we are about to premiere today, like we did things like the YouTube cipher. So we did things like the YouTube cipher, and we would have guys from different parts of the world. Like we started off like I'd say I spit a rap over a beat. I would pass it to Curtis. Curtis passed it to Scru Face. It was like kind of that type of vibe back in the day. So I'm from that era, and
Dang.
yeah, that's
I feel like that era too, because it was so wild, wild west in terms of YouTube content, in terms of what content even was. It wasn't even a concept in a lot of our minds that we were making
hmm
content as much as it was. It's like I'm on YouTube and I'm allowed to upload, and there's some things that I have the ability to do. Let me showcase those things. I was reading through, the history and even just paying attention to like a lot of the posts that you've posted up. The thing that caught my attention is just how pro independence your voice has been. And I was curious, looking back at your journey, I know you spent some early time over at Warner. You had the Warner deal to where you are now. What do you think shaped your voice the most as an artist today?
what shaped my voice the most as an artist today.
Because you've worn a
Yeah.
lot of different hats over the way over the years, but I feel like I relate as an artist at some point in time there's something that really really begins to shape it's almost like you discover a part of your voice in the process, and you're like, okay, these were the events that really really shaped it. So just want to
Oh
clarify, what do you think
man.
shapes your voice the most as an artist?
Well, an era of my career was with a band that I helped start, um, maybe back in like 2010, 12, around those era, around that era. It was like a hip hop neo soul band that
Mhm.
I kind of started off with them as like I was looking for guys to play my like mixtape live. Like I was working on like my first mixtape, and I needed like I had the vision of having like a live band with me, and we ultimately ended up like getting cool and forming our own band called Phony People. So we ended up like getting a lot of love throughout our city, ended up touring, opening up for like acts like Erykah Badu, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, um, uh, Q-Tip, you know, so like that, and that really got my like performance chops up, especially as like a vocalist, because it was kind of like my getaway. Like I took MCing very seriously in my YouTube days. Like, yo, I'm a lyricist, but Phony People was kind of like my getaway. And I feel like at a point, I had got, you know, we dismembered. Like I was actually, you know, let go from the band. I was like pushed to the side out of the band, and
Yeah.
I felt like as a young guy coming up, I'm like, you know, a only child. Like I got sisters, but like an only boy, and living with my, you know, my parents early, and my sisters being gone, it was just kind of just me.
Mm-hmm.
My brothers were kind of like my Phony People guys, you know, so it was like that brotherhood and feeling so strongly about like repping them and being like, yo, these are my guys, to being like, damn, I'm not in the band anymore. It was like, damn, it really like hurt me a lot. But in that time, it kind of like built like a strength in me, that and an experience to kind of give me like more emotion and more soul within my content.
Yeah, well,
You know, and
what you sound like is the spine of being a DIYer. Like that. That to me is the foundation. I think that is what I'm noticing as I'm listening to you right now. As I listen to a lot of the folks in my community, is that we've all been in situations where back against the wall, and we come to the conclusion nobody coming to save us.
but
What you gonna make out of this? You know, making the most out of very little resources at times. You know what I mean? I heard you speak about that in an interview I think you had a few months ago, where you were just talking about like that's the very core of hip hop, is making the
mm-hmm.
most out of what you have currently at your you know, at your arm's reach.
Exactly. I say Ghetto Olympics. Like
The
the
Olympics,
Ghetto
yeah.
Olympics is creating something out of nothing, like taking limited resources and creating magic, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like from there, and that was also the time I was leaving Warner Brothers, you know, so leaving my band and Warner Brothers was just like, whew, that's
Yeah.
real. Like you gotta figure something out. And it was crazy
Yeah.
because yeah, that was like when I made one of my biggest tracks, That Chicken.
Mhm.
And when that came out, yeah, that's still doing waves, millions of streams already. I mean, I know you don't care about streams, but
No, look. I care more about your achieve. I care more
yes,
about
sir.
what the artist in that moment, because I know what that moment feels like from my own story. And that when you leave a scenario and people's like, "What you gonna do now?" And then you
Right.
do something else, and it's almost like you convince not just them, because it's not about them, but when you convince yourself, and you're like, it's confirmation that, oh no, I was the secret ingredient the whole time, right? Like no
Mm.
matter where you put me. I know one of my favorite Jay-Z lines where he talks about you know, place me on anywhere on God's green earth, I triple my
Right, if
worth.
I triple my worth.
I remember listening to that, show my age. I remember listening to that sitting in the car, my mom's car at the mall, and it got premiered on the radio, and I was like, oh, that might be one of the hardest lines I heard. But it, to me, that's part of the DIY creed. You know, I'm curious, since you brought that up, man, because you posted
Hmm.
this, and all of this is naturally leading into the cipher conversation. I just want to do it because we got to play. You know, we playing catch up in the process. We ain't never had no
That's
segment.
that's
But
a fact.
a few months ago, you said something that really grabbed my attention, especially as a DIYer, and you know, a lot of the stuff we talk about from the streaming and all that. You do
Hmm.
chime in a lot here, and we always appreciate your perspective. A few months ago, you announced you finally regained full control of your YouTube channel after
Yes,
Warner had it
sir.
locked up since 2012. I'm
Mm.
curious, what did that moment mean for you personally, and what does it mean for your career moving forward, especially now that we're getting a bit of a history lesson, and you starting in the YouTube space?
Well, you know, as a bright-eyed young artist at 19, uh, getting at that time I was working with a guy named Plain Pat. He was another guy that he's like a real close Kanye
Kid Cudi, right?
collaborator. Yeah, Kid Cudi,
Right.
him and Emil Haney, who produced a lot of Kid Cudi stuff back in that day. were like approaching me, and at that point, it's like, yo, Kanye's people.
Yeah.
Damn, like yo, like, and that kind of got me into like the industry mix a little bit. You know, from
Mm.
me knowing Plain Pat, I got to know Dante Ross, who was a A&R at Warner Brothers at the time, and he had signed Busta Rhymes and Leaders in New School in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
Old Dirty Bastard, and he's like a legendary just third base A&R like MF Doom. So seeing these guys that I know are just like legendary names, I was just very much like it was appealing for me to just jump into the game. Like
Mm-hmm.
and I gave away some rights to my to my YouTube that I didn't really realize I was giving at the time, thinking, and this is like the YouTube era where you can put banners up uh on your page or on a
Mm-hmm.
specific video to promote certain things just to give it more of like a professional look. And I was just into that. Like it made me like feel more like okay, I got something going on, and that design and not even the business, not even the business that goes behind it, like behind the scenes. It was more like the image. It was like, okay, I love this image. You
Yeah.
guys can have my YouTube, because even after getting out of the contract, the YouTube was still attached
That's
to
crazy.
their revenue streams. Like I
Right.
was paying them with my videos. Because at the time it's like, all right, you're signed to us, like, well, we're gonna take over your YouTube, we're gonna help you promote, we're gonna take a percentage of this, da 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 da. So while I'm signed, that was all good, but you know after all this time, I saw over the years, like I was getting videos flagged, taken down, like people were getting hit with copyright strikes because of my music being attached to their system. So yeah,
Man. That's crazy.
yeah, it
So,
was just
so even in the midst of, like you said, you already painted the picture of being in a situation where, it's on your shoulders now. All the responsibilities of how, you get these records recorded, how you get these records distributed. All of this stuff is now on your shoulders. But then one of the mediums that you're using in YouTube that you already had traction on, that you already established an audience on, now they have the power to play with whatever plan that you have. They still have
mhm.
hands in it somehow, some way, with the copyright strikes and all. That's crazy, man. Oh man.
To the point where I got let go from my band and my label. I
Mhm.
somehow managed to go back to Crown Heights in the hood, in the trap with my boys, and create that chicken and get Fabulous to discover it somehow, and
Yeah,
come
you have to.
and then come to my hood, shoot the video, do the
Uh-huh.
verse. We're playing on Hot 97, Power 105, all the radio stations out here, just for WMG to hit me with a copyright and take it off YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. See that it helps you to understand, and I know you've seen many over the years. It helps you to understand why certain artists might crash out, and
Woo-hoo-hoo!
you know how many conversations I've had behind the scenes where it's like, Curtis, if I said what I really wanted to say, life would
Mm,
be 10 times more difficult, and I have to look over my shoulders every corner, and not only even on some street politics, on some like corporate politics of
mm.
these folks, man. It's they do not play fair. They do not play fair. I'm curious with that said though, man. What are some of the lessons do you believe that those experiences taught you about ownership that you want younger
Whew.
artists to know about before signing anything?
Um, I would say, yeah, just keep it in house as long as you can. A lot of these labels and like higher ups, which I feel like this era is fate. The era of people running to the label, obviously, is fate. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
or try to impress the label to the point where it's like, yo, I need you, or, they're always looking for us. So, of course, they're gonna hit you with all the flash, the glitz and glamour. They're gonna smoke and mirrors. I feel like
Mhm.
my career is a whole bunch of like, yo, dodge the smoke and mirrors. Like this doesn't everything that glitters isn't gold. Like,
Nice.
stay
Yeah.
family first, in house first, like the people that you ride with first, the people that you trust first, and grow with them as long as possible. And if someone is willing to invest in what you're already building, that will probably be, the best option, because
Yeah.
a lot of these big wigs are just looking for like the next wave, and it's really
Yeah.
real.
What man, shout out to Screw. He just came into the building right now. He said, man,
Screw
never let him get the
Face.
YouTube. He said, never let him get the YouTube. LOL. Shout out to all. I said, thank you for having me on the cipher. Yeah, Screw Face. I didn't announce these
Screw
names yet. We about
Face.
to get into the conversation about the
Oh
cipher.
my
Play it.
gosh.
I had to hit Screw the other day because as I was listening to it, he did something after my verse. I was like, you gotta relax, bro. Like, you gotta relax. That's a
Yo, I
chorus.
knew you were gonna say
That's
something
a
about that.
chorus. And don't you use the words I'm rhyming with at the end. Don't you make it a real cipher. What's wrong with you? I had to tell him, bro. I had to
Yo,
tell him to relax, and he just started cracking up. But I had to send him a voice note after that. But yeah, let's get into that conversation. But I want to highlight something, because there's something that you're doing that I feel like as a lyricist, you would understand this not only on a technical level, but on a cultural level, about how important, these quote unquote call outs are, especially in a hypersensitive time where people hear the word call out and they're like, what you mean calling me out? People just don't be understanding. But I'm curious, first of all, as a lyricist, I have a question about it. As a lyricist, what's your personal approach when sitting down to write? What makes a Dyme-A-Duzin verse different?
oh man, I consider myself just an interesting, like a random creative thinker, and you know, conversations and random just perspectives kind of just might just flash in my raps, and it might be like something that might be just very random, very off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm very inspired by like the Eminems of the world, but I kind of do it in my own way nowadays.
Right.
So I feel like, yeah, my writing process is just very much taking in just life and letting it flow on paper. And in a clever way, of course, just keeping it very integral to like hip hop and lyricism. Like I want to shout out to Scru Face. Thank you. That you killed that. Killed your birds. Thank you for hopping on the cipher into the cipher. Uh, you know, lyricism. Like you display Curtis, like guys that get real technical and get guys that just really paint a picture when they rap. Like I'm into that. I want the people to kind of see what I'm delivering, but at the same time, just very sporadic with it. But just paint, a full picture. I'm just about painting picture with words, and yeah, that's what I am. Just
I,
a
I'll
just
tell you,
lyrical painter.
look, I'll tell you this. When you sent me over the feature for this, I definitely sat there and I was like, in my mind, I was like, all right, it's cipher. You go into almost overly technical mode where you just go syllable crate. But then you said a few lines in it, and we're gonna talk about this. But then you said a few lines, and I was like, nah, I gotta approach this. Like even if somebody be like, damn, Curtis, I feel like you could have went a little bit crazier. No. I gotta say something that's gonna touch somebody's soul today.
I want everybody to go hard. That's why I did that. I'm like
Yeah.
shoot me.
No. It's not even
Suicide.
about that. No. You don't hear me. You don't hear me. This got nothing to do with you. This has everything to
I
do with
know.
the place I was at. When you said this, I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm finna talk about on the No Music Cypher. Oh, I know exactly who it come to my mind when I think about industry politics and I think about
Mm,
the way the funny ways. And the thing is, it still hasn't stopped. Like, there's been other situations. People now tag me, especially knowing the voice that I've become for independent artists in this space of YouTube. They'll tag me and stuff like, did you hear about this? And I'm just like, damn, that's another OG that is doing some nonsense that feels below them. But let's talk about the cipher, man. You dropped No Music as a single earlier this year. What made you want to expand it into a full cipher and a bi-coastal one at that?
what really triggered the whole idea was me getting my YouTube back. It was like, it was very much like, yo, no music to me means like the industry is dying. Like what Kendrick said, like watch the party die. Like the way things are going, and it's kind of coming back into our hands, and that's just a perfect example. you know, me having to deal with that issue all those years, and now me being able to openly, put out my own track, be able to get paid over all revenue from all my videos, and now I got this new track that I can just release anytime I want, and I can hit up guys from all over the world that are just as passionate as me, and we can make something happen like that. So it was like getting back into like the old, the YouTube days, like the energy of we can do this, and we don't got to answer to y'all. We don't got to be slaves to no label, no,
Hello.
no deadline. It was just us. So that's kind of what kicked it off. That made the track, and made like the cipher was in mind while I was doing the track.
Right. Oh, the cipher. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
was the only question I had. Was that something
Yeah.
you already had in mind? Because
Yes.
when I listened to it and I listened to like, how would you describe the concept that you originally went with when creating No Cypher? What was it in your mind? Like, what was it? Was it kind of like a state of the union kind of conversation? Was it I need to go ahead and put, you know what? Now that I can talk my shit and know that ain't nothing about to happen to none of this content, let
Yes.
me, like, what was it for you?
I'm in this. I consider myself a part of this community that you guys have
Of course.
helped build and thrive in. So it's just like the hip hop community that's not feeding you the BS. That's kind of like giving it to you real and keeping it integral as far as like the hip hop aspect, the lyricism aspect, just just keeping it hip hop. So I relate to you guys, and what you guys are saying within it, and like as far as like not feeding into like the system, and I understand that this shit is dying, and I was just speaking from my perspective, from my town's perspective as well, because New
Mhm.
York kind of has like this. I don't know. Everywhere around the world kind of does it now. Like when say in the party, the music goes off, and
Right.
we see uh like there's no music playing, everybody hits the clap, no music, no music. So like with that, like the beat kind of is reminiscent of that, the drum pattern is reminiscent of that. So I'm speaking
Mm.
from New York's perspective on this track now, because I do feel like there's an absence in New York hip hop for real, like
Yeah.
especially in from my town, Brooklyn. Like I feel like I'm very talented with what I do, from the lyricism, from the singing, the songwriting, and I'm just bringing that back. And I feel like, yeah, man, no music. That's just a New Yorker's perspective coming out of this era of hip hop, this generation of New York hip hop. I just wanted to take that and then spread it across the world and let other guys from different regions put their spice on it too, on some New York shit. You guys in the West been thriving. You got guys trying to do their own not like us's and shit like that. So it's
Hey,
like, let's
don't be
have some
doing.
New York
Hold on,
shit.
hold on, Dime. Don't be doing media right now. I
No,
see
no,
where
no,
you
no, no,
leading.
no,
I see
no,
where you
no, no, no,
leading
no,
this.
no, 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 no. It's no disrespect to y'all. Y'all got other dudes
You
from
know what
around the
this sound
world
like?
trying to do y'all. You
No, you
feel
know what
me?
this sound like? This sound like Ali, you go ahead and slam that curtain before you get into this song, because it's funny as you said it. And shout out to Money Montage. I was watching the interview that you guys had a little bit
Montage.
earlier.
My
But
brother.
this a hell of a alley oop, because I promise you, while that situation was going on with what's now being branded as Joey Badass versus the West, which I just still, that narrative is still something that I struggle with. But as we were covering that, my East Coast brethren was hitting me up about doing a song, and we had even other ideas of like I think that was one thing that I was making sure that in the midst of these conversations about, all right, here we have a Kai Cash, or here we have somebody that's here we have Dyme, because we were talking about the How You record with Daylight that you had off the project. Like, as we're talking about this, it's with a different energy than you would have seen 95, 96, because it's like, no, we have family on both coasts. We got mutual respect for the craft. And matter of fact, in the name of
Right.
hip hop is winning right now when we prioritizing that. But if there was some people who didn't get that narrative, and they were just making East Coast disses or New York disses and LA disses. In the midst of that, my dog hit me up and it was like, man, F all that. Like, this is what I'm working on. I want to get you involved in this. But yeah, we haven't had a conversation about it at all. what what's look, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm just having a hip hop conversation with my hip hop brethren.
That's
But
all it is.
months now, because I want to focus this conversation on the cipher. We're gonna listen to it. Make sure you hit the like button before we get into it. But what is now your perspective on that particular event, and really just, I guess,
Wait, is it blacking out for you right now?
For you, I think the internet is kind of is doing something where it's kind of got you a little bit glitchy.
Oh, really?
You good? Yeah.
I'm good now. Yeah, I'm good now. Yeah, because you was getting glitchy too.
I always get okay. Yeah, let me take this thing off the screen. Okay, so we should be good though. But yeah, I'm curious. What is kind of your zoomed out points of view now that we've had some time that passed on that particular event, and just I guess now the added element in this era of battling in general.
I mean, I feel like something was started that kind of it wasn't so necessary.
Okay.
And I feel like we shouldn't coddle clout chasers. I feel like if someone is doing something that we feel like is very much not in the spirit of hip hop, don't let them lie about it. Call them out for what it is. And I mean, I feel like hip hop is pretty much doing that anyway, and we're keeping it pushing.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't coddle clout chasers. Don't let nobody gaslight you into thinking that they're doing something for hip hop. They're doing things for themselves.
Jim's added something. I will say, keep it off Twitter. Yeah, I like both of these statements. I like both of these statements today. That's because man, we live in a time of access where it's like, all right, bet. Like if anybody came to you today, just walking down the street and was like, I got this particular issue with you. Okay, well, let's have this conversation. The added element, like even today, like as I'm doing the stories about, talking to the homie Python P and him telling me the situation with Ab, you get people chiming in. And the first thing I want to ask is like, who are you? Like, like what do you do? Do you do any of this that you making any kind of judgment or calls on? So I think the outer elements sometimes of like the extra points of views and the chiming in, sometimes people can amplify stuff. And you don't even know whether or not it's human beings now or if it's AI at some time, right? But
it's real different.
It is different. But let's look, I'm gonna respect your answer. And I'm gonna keep it moving to this conversation about this. So the lineup is stacked on this No Music Cypher. And man, you got Scru Face Jean. You got let me put this back up. You got Scru Face Jean. You got Jeremy Hecht. You got Kito Abashi. Is how I pronounce that?
Yes, sir. Kito Abashi.
Okay, you got
Chilla Jones.
Okay, you got Chilla Jones. You got J Nolan. These are the kind of things you look at, and it's like, man, that's the era that we're living in, where we can have that kind of conversation of worlds intersecting. That otherwise, if it's not content, when do these worlds really intersect? So, how did you decide who to bring into this?
It's so crazy. At first, like I was thinking, like I mentioned before, like okay, me from the New York side of things. Let me look at it like this. Who can I get from the West? Who can I get from, Canada? Who can I get from the South? Like different regions, different spots. Like who can I get to represent their side of town type thing? And I thought of you immediately when I thought West Coast. I'm like, yo, Curtis. As I know Curtis represent, let's see if he would be down for it.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, funny thing about Jeremy Hecht, you guys might know him from, doing interviews and the bigger picture and all that, but I know him from the YouTube days as Hype. He was a rapper from the YouTube era early, and we reconnected back in these days, and he expressed to me that like, yo, I used to watch your videos. Like, yo, I entered your ciphers, like I did things, I did your competitions back in the day, like I rock with you. And I'm like, dog, I'll watch you. So it's like, we reconnected. So I'm like, dog, come back outside on your hype shit, be the
He said,
hype again,
now's the time to come back outside for a second. Yeah, now's
right.
the time.
you know, and guys like Kito, he's from the South.
Okay.
He's been showing me a lot of love. Oh, well, first of all, since J Nolan just popped up, shout out to him because I didn't even have like a Southern representative yet.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it was just like, dog, who's gonna do it? Like, I know like there's rappers out there, and one thing I did pay attention to is like the reactor community. I don't want to like minimalize you guys to like reactors, but like reacting is something that got a lot of attention last year, especially with the whole battle thing. But the
Mhm.
guys that kind of put that type of content out there, I realized that you guys are very like passionate about rap and hip hop. So it's like with that, a lot of y'all are fire rappers like J Nolan, bro.
Mhm. Mhm.
Especially like, and he lets you know, like, as soon as the video starts, he got like a new
It's in his
freestyle for
intro.
you.
He
He's
gonna make
killing
sure. Yeah.
it. So he's like, yo, you
Don't
better
never
know.
forget. Yeah. Don't never
Don't ever
forget.
forget. So it's like, and he reached out on some shit like, yo, bro, you got a cipher going on? And I'm like, yeah. And then he sent his joint back quick. And he's ready. So shout out to J Nolan. Like, salute, much respect. Thank you so much. Scru Face Jean, same thing. He heard about it. He hit me up like, yo, you doing a cipher? And I didn't even know he knew me like that. You feel me? Like, I've been in one of his chats and he's like, yo, I've been hearing your name, Dyme-A-Duzin. So like maybe like you, he had maybe people hitting him up or like he saw my name before. I don't know.
No,
But
Screw tapped in. Screw is somebody that he's very much tapped in. Like he surprised the hell out of me. The names that he'll bring up or he'll reference and be like, yeah, I did a video on them 9 months ago. I'm like, what you mean, bro? Like, what kind of internet you on? But go ahead.
and Screw, yeah, he's about that hip hop shit. Like
Right.
I see he doesn't take no, like I've seen him give props to Jid and be cool with Jid, and then like me challenge Jid and shit, and him like totally be like, okay, like it's some
Yeah.
people that are like get all tense and be like, oh well, I don't want to hurt my
Ruin
Dreamville
relationships and all
affiliations.
that. Right. Right.
Fuck that, nigga. This hip hop, nigga. I don't got no
It's hip
problem with this
hop.
nigga. Like I don't know him.
Yeah.
I don't know him. If I'm dissing him or I'm challenging him, I think he's good. I wouldn't challenge a guy that's not nice. What I look like, you feel me? But it's like Screwface understands, that hip hop is a sport. Word to Screw. So that's another guy, Kito, just a guy that just showed me love. Like he didn't even know about me until like this year. The whole East Coast, Joey, West Coast, whatever. He found out about me, and I guess from him playing Joey videos, like some of his fans were telling him about me, and we connected through there. He delivered
Yeah.
his own verse and a hook. He's dope. Who else is on there? Did I get through everybody? Chilla Jones.
Yeah, Chilla, crazy. We already knew that was gonna happen. Yeah.
Chilla Jones, and he's another guy that was just like killing it within my era, but also a legendary battle rapper who's got classics under his belt. So it was like to eat, and he just hit me up too. So it's like the community got active when
Yeah.
I challenged people. I called people out to rap. So it was like just a good energy, and I'm glad that it all came together. I thank everybody so much. It was, cockcats who duck smoke, but
No,
everybody.
not God. No. I like. But
I like cockcats too.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he duck
But you
smoke.
like no matter you like facts is facts. Okay, no, I ain't mad at it. But and you know what's crazy? I think something like this feels damn near like like if when we were discussing it earlier, and I'm like, how you finna pull this off? Like what does the session look like? You feel me? Like how long is this song in an era where there's short attention spans? There's a lot of like uphill battles of fighting this, but damn it, you did it. That's the last question, and I promise we're gonna play it because I know they're gonna go crazy and be on my head for not putting the song on. But what did the process? How did the process come together? Was it as overwhelming as a task look?
Yeah. And I mean, mostly everybody who said they were gonna do a verse did a verse though. But the thing about it is, we grown as hell now. It's like YouTube ciphers back in the day. It was like, okay, we were 16, 19, 20 and shit. So it was like, hey, I'm challenging you. Somebody will grab their camera and put on the beat and rap and send the video back within a day. Nowadays, we got guys like they got families and shit. They got to get to the studio. They got sessions and shit. So it's like, all right, we're going to do this like the grown version of the YouTube cipher. Like, we're going to take care of our responsibilities. And then I'm going to get in whenever I can get into a session that, you know, I can send the verse. So that's really what happened with a lot of the guys. Like, you got to, this is what you do, my dude. Like, you were in the studio already. I challenged you, and you was like, yo, excuse the rust. Like, fuck that. Like, you're a natural. You fucking got right back
I
into it.
say that, but you know why I say that? Because people get on my head about saying, oh, you know, why do you mention the rust? Because I know damn well what I put the work in to be. And I know what happens when I take extended breaks. And I know what happens when I get hyper focused in this area of content. And then when I come back to it, I'm like, I'm ready to go and pick up where I left off. But it's like, nah, big dog, you got to go up there and shoot your free throws. You got to get up there and put your jump shots up. I am still somebody at, 20 years plus in doing not only the writing as an artist, and I've been around the best coming up, but as a producer as well. So I apply that pressure anywhere I'm at. And I got responsibilities like the next man, but when it comes to this, it's like, show name on this. You feel me? Like you gotta show and prove. And that I think that we're in a place where it became cool to not care no more.
Right.
Like just in society, like don't be a tryhard. Don't like it just show little to no effort. And something like this came at a time where I feel like people were like, nah, that's actually not, that's not how it should be. Like we should be celebrating the people who put effort into their pen and into their work. So,
facts.
All right. Well, with that said, no further ado, should we go ahead and just go ahead and get into it? You want to introduce this before I get in plus play?
Sheesh. 2 months in the making. Nah, yo, shout out to everybody that took a part in this No Music Cypher. Curtis King for the creative direction on the cover, mixing on the track as well. Shout out to Money Montage on the production. But this is the No Music Cypher featuring Curtis King, Scru Face Jean, Vegas. Curtis King, West Coast. Scru Face, Vegas, you feel me? Jeremy Hecht, Canada Gang, Kito Abashi, and J Nolan, ATL, shout out to ATL, Chilla Jones. Where Chilla Jones from?
Where is Chilla Jones from?
I think he's from Jersey. I think he's from Jersey. I hope I'm not wrong, because I think he's from Jersey.
Boston. Right?
All right. Let me start.
Boston, right?
Yo, Dyme-A-Duzin. Dyme-A-Duzin from Brooklyn.
I'm about to say he from Planet Hip Hop. That's all I know.
He from Planet Hip Hop. Damn, I know he's from Boston. Damn, we had a lot of different mad cities on this joint. But yes, this is the No Music Cypher. Curtis King, Scru Face Jean, Jeremy Hecht, Kito Abashi, Chilla Jones, and J Nolan. Out officially Friday, but this is the first listen, premiere. Thank you guys so much. Much love.
All right, so I'm gonna turn my mic down so we can get some stereo quality in this. If you hear a little echo, you know what's going on. So here we go.
Oh, when you me, cause I expect you dead. Somebody gonna have
to come on. Look. I think it worked out the way it was supposed to work out. I think it's going to inspire a lot of folks the next time there's an opportunity to be like, that's what you meant. You just wanted folks that wanted to rap. Some folks don't rap unless it's a check. Okay, respect to your business and all that, or whatever the case may be. But I think that's something that I'm gonna give you my perspective, and I want to hear your perspective. I think that the takeaway that I get on a personal level as an artist is the importance of making sure that you finish the job, right? Sometimes you get pulled away into different things because, maybe because they're lucrative or because it's another calling of yours. But one thing that stayed consistent through no matter where I've gone has been music. And one thing that stayed consistent is wanting to have the ability to express myself. I think we're in a time period where more stories are needed, more perspectives are needed. The age limitations that sometimes people try to apply to things just don't hold the same way. I salute you for putting this idea together in this way, in this era, because it goes against so many of the new rules of, man, you can't have a 7-minute rap song and then people gonna listen to it. You can't, man, you gonna do a cipher now? Oh man, you ain't finna have, why you finna, then you're gonna bring people that maybe some people may know some of these names more so because of the content than the music. I think you went against the grain, but it really was just the hip hop thing to do. In essence, was just to, go against the grain. That's what it's supposed to be. But that's kind of my perspective, the way I'm looking at it. I appreciate everybody in here that's showing all love to the cipher. They're showing a lot of love to it. I want to hear from your perspective, man. How were you kind of, I guess, first of all, from the cipher standpoint, how are you kind of receiving that moment, but then also too zoomed out, what do you kind of feel is on your shoulders, responsibility wise, to uphold for the culture this in this time period?
Well, well, it's just a beautiful thing that this all could come together like this, and that everybody was in the spirit of hip hop, bringing their A game, and because people could have just ignored the whole situation. Some people said they were gonna do verses, didn't turn them in, and I don't got nothing against y'all, but I see the passion within the community, and I love that, and it inspires me as well. And yeah, it's just from day one, just finding ways to get my creativity out, and also bring people together. You feel me? And just making just dope hip hop. And
Yeah.
I feel like just with like minds and people that you enjoy perspectives from, who not who better, like you guys. I watch you guys all the time. I often agree with things, perspectives that you guys have on hip hop topics, as far as we just trust. I understand you guys have great hip hop minds, and I agree with a lot of things you say. So it's like, hey, why not? Understanding that you guys have very much more passion about hip hop more than anything else.
Right.
It's like, why not get in touch with guys that feel just as passionate as me? And that's really what I aim to do. I didn't really care about anything else. And the fact that you guys, we're down for it, it's just beautiful. And I feel like I just want to continue to be a figure that does things like that within my city and for the culture. So, it's kind of, I've been doing this since the beginning, and it's just like a full circle, it's just like, just keeping it alive, keeping that hip hop shit alive, that New York shit alive, yeah.
I salute you, man. We all salute you for making the decision to do that and putting that out there.
Chilla Jones.
Chilla Jones. It's funny because Chilla Jones don't even know, first of all, much respect on not only your things that you have the things that you have done in your career, but also for the work that you're doing, not only on the cipher, but the work that you're doing to teach the next generation of lyricists with Pendulum Inc. Matter of fact, no, that book is over here. It's by my nightstand. But the work that you, Mickey Facts, Rhymecology, the work that you guys are all doing over there, I salute, because even at this stage, 20 years deep, there's still things that I'm like, all right, let me gain a real understanding about some of the technical things that I have amongst circles. Because, we bastardize terms all the time. Like, what's really a metaphor? Even though it's probably a simile. What's when you say a rhyme scheme, what do you mean? I've seen it change. So it's dope to see a lot of these things get defined, because I think it breeds a new generation of lyricists who really understand this and want to take it to the next level. I bring that all the way over to you as well, is that you're giving somebody the first time to experience a cipher in this time period. It ain't gonna come from the quote unquote higher ups or whatever you want to call it. It ain't gonna come from their favorite artists because niggas got beef and they can't really come together like that in general, or as label politics. So I never want to minimalize anything that's happening in these spaces, because I look at some of these shows, some of these reactions, channels, and I'm like, dog, we're the new 106 in Park. We're the new Rap Cities. We are the ones creating and curating our own content and shows and courses and lessons and all that. So I wanted to make sure I said that because, man, I definitely appreciate you bringing all these worlds together.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. So obviously you got the project, A Soul of Yours is out right now.
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite song from the project? Because right now I think Vessel is the one for me. Vessel, and of course, Vessel's the one. It's one immediately when I hear, I say, yep, that's gonna be the one. I'm greedy with my music. When I hear something, but for you, what is it? What is like some of the what's the standouts for you that you are like, that one is near and dear to me?
Yeah, that's probably it right there, because Vessel is very much near and dear to me. Like, I'm speaking about very personal topics on there. My grandmother being part of the Osley brothers and her being blackballed before she could make it as a solo artist. And also, comparing that to me being with Phony people and me going solo and dealing with blackballing within the industry, it's kind of like history repeating itself. I mentioned that within the song, which is very personal. I mentioned my father, getting out of jail and being a Muslim and discouraging me from eating pork, which kind of like ended, it kind of shifted my life into not eating pork ever, So it's like the balance. It's just like I'm a vessel of, just like the Dyme-A-Duzin. Like it's really the definition track for me at this point in life right now. Like, yes, I am very much a vessel. From the beginning of this interview, I said, yo, I'm just a man. This is God. So that's what that is. Like, I am a vessel, and these are the things that happened to me that allowed me to bring this, these certain things to light, to influence people, to inspire people, to, help out.
Man, well, you doing a damn thing, and I think a lot of people are inspired by what you got going on, because you're leading the way. You're leading the way in ways that I would not be surprised, because we know how finicky this industry can be. I would not be surprised to see somebody else's version of a No Music Cypher, that all of a sudden somebody is so inspired, like, man, I just want to do something for the culture. And it's like, we see you. We know how this game works. I didn't been here a few lifetimes. I've seen how this works. We got the same. You got the same internet connection as everybody else. What's next for you? What's next for you? Collaboration shows. What you got coming up next that you excited about?
Oh man! Oh, you said that just as it hit the hour mark. Well, I'm saying we because I'm already thinking in the future, because I have this project concept called World Domination. Nobody steal this. I'm putting this here. If y'all steal it, if any of y'all rappers are dick riding and steal it,
don't say nothing, man. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up, then. Don't bring it up.
I'll tell you about it later.
What are you doing? Yeah, you tell me about it later. But yes, you working on something.
Yes. A project, an album, something like that. But yeah, I would love for you to be a part of it.
I guarantee you go to Twitter in about 20 minutes, somebody be like, man, I got this whole world domination idea that I'm working on. Like, I haven't really hashed out all the details, but like it's gonna be on some like lyricist shit, like some like real Brooklyn shit. I guarantee you somebody already did it. If not, it's already been clawed for AI. We living in a different time. I'll be like, I understand what they meant, what they meant by sometimes you gotta play stupid. Because we living in a time where as soon as you say it, you see it shared amongst the ecosystem.
We're not gonna do that.
Like,
and you know what?
Y'all just finna do that.
You sent when we were working on the artwork for this. You sent me a Kobe Bryant poster or meme or something like that, and he had the finger over the mouth.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it like that.
You know what? I'm not working on nothing actually. Be honest with you, I quit music today. Today I quit. If you see something pop up, you surprise me too. No, I'm playing with you. Oh man, well we appreciate your time, man. We appreciate you premiering this record here. The record is out on.
Thank you, man.
Always. And I know I tried to squeeze in a lot of questions beforehand, and we got to have a more traditional sit down at some point where it's really focused on your journey and focus on whatever new music you got coming on. So you always got an open invitation back here. But yeah, Friday is when the cipher drops, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Friday,
Okay.
October 3rd. It'll be everywhere up on YouTube, most importantly, because YouTube is the domain I'm gonna push most things now because I got it back. So it's like I'm not even past the threshold where I can even start getting like actual bread again yet. So it's
For the
like,
partner program.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, I gotta get back into it. So it's like, but I haven't had that much content since this. So it's like, okay, like why not have my big premiere back be the No Music Cypher? So
Yeah, I always got this belief, and I was talking to Python the other day about it. I feel like everything happens for you and not to you, and so sometimes I'll be wondering, like, dang, was that delayed situation really just like the biggest alley oop that I could receive? Because now, as I start to put all my energy into what I'm doing, I get to receive all the rewards from it in a way that maybe that other situation wouldn't have provided. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, as much as y'all can support whatever this brother has going on, whether it's music, whether it's merch, whether it's shows, go do that. Definitely tap into the cipher on Friday when you can play it and until the play button fall off or your stream button fall off, whatever you're using. But I appreciate you once again, dog. Any last words
likewise.
from people here?
Oh man, yo, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank y'all for the support. Curtis, thank you once again, man. Very much appreciated. I can't thank you enough, for real, man. Killed the track once again. Um, yeah, let's link back up. I would love to come out to LA at some point. That would be fire. I got to link up with you. I got to link up with Company Man because Justin, me and him go back. So that would be fire. Yeah, man. Solely Yours out now. New project in the works.
Come on.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just gonna keep bringing it. Dyme-A-Duzin, Crown Heights, Brooklyn shit.
Come on, there it
Sheesh.
is. DIYers. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out if you did not already. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to make sure that other people get a chance to hear this interview as well as this song. Definitely appreciate all the love that y'all have shown. Want to make sure I acknowledge Tatted Reaperist. Thank you so much for the kind words and the super chat. Alex, thank you so much. And everybody that was speaking on here that popped into this conversation. Thank you again, DIYers. We'll talk to you soon. We got an episode of Critique My Beast today, but yeah, I'll get at y'all. Have a good one. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.
Oh shit.
Okay, now you good. You got. I just make sure it stopped.